Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Big, highly competitive pocket passer, can scan the field to make every throw that you're looking for. Also one of those players that people love to have on the squad in terms of leadership. As he goes, his team will follow.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll go on the ground. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make the play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And this is caught at the 8. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, Edwards. And his pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Edwards now going to throw on 3rd and goal. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point up and through. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Ready? Move it.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Winston. And he's able to find Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The result, a first down, as the quick slant gets him 14. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And that gives him 9 for the season, and I've been around the game long enough to know this. 10 is the benchmark number, right? People want to get to there because that really signifies that you've had the year that you've been looking for and also gives you respect around the league.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ready? Watch 25.
Jameis again. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ready? Blue ready.
They'll throw again. Winston. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Cortland Sutton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Leaping over him. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting.
That's caught inside the 20, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off around the 37. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
He's going to get it running right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off at his own 47. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Edwards. Off the play fake. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Edwards, operating from the gun. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now Edwards to throw on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field.
Let's go. Let's convert. Let's convert. Let's convert. Ready. White 25. White, cut up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Green, triple C. Ready. Black 22. White, cut up.
Second down, Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move this.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Flex round. Flex round.
Now they try the right side here. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Flex round. Flex round.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Flex round. Flex round.
Edwards from the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Looking to throw. Edwards. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Green, triple C. Ready. Blue lady. Set. Set.
Following the interception, Winston. And this one is incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And he'll be well short of a first down as he's stopped again right at the line of scrimmage.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1.
Every single time.
Edwards now on 1st and 10, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. He's been a frequent target, and with catches like that, one-handed in the end zone, I'd keep going his way.
And he's doing it every which way, isn't he? 2 hands, and in this case, we just saw it with 1 hand. Almost reminds me of a great return of service guy in tennis. No matter how you whack it at him, it comes back at you. In this case, it just envelops it and brings it in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. 20, 10, for touchdown, Philadelphia. Antonio Callaway with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now down to 20. This is taken at the 3. Oh, the hurdle. Oh. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Now a handoff looking right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's Edwards on first down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Edwards. Operating from the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now Edwards throwing on 3rd and long. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Ready. Blue ready.
Off the play fake, Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And they've stopped him on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense because if they stop him here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game, how difficult it's going to be to score on them.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job And then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Now a handoff looking right. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them. Because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit. But must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
To throw is Winston. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Winston now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Edwards looking to throw on 2nd down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on 4th down tries. They're trying again. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Flex round! Flex round!
Operating from the gun. Edwards. He's going to air one out. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. Avoids him at the 40. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Edwards now. Off play action. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here's Edwards. Off the play fake. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that. But also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his
rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Ready. White 25.
Out of his end zone. Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ready. Blue ready.
On 3rd down. That's Simpson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. It's the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And they'll go on the ground. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw is Edwards. To throw on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Edwards going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
The offense staying out there. They're at 50%, 2 for 4 thus far in the game. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll try and throw for it here. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably. Predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Ready. Blue waiting.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Winston. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head scheme going.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Check. Here I come!
Now Edwards on third down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, Charles, I guess the only thing I can think there is they've got a 3-score lead, and they're saying, well, no, we're not going to lose this, so let's have some fun. I don't know why you go for it.
I think that's as good an explanation as any, and we all know that certain coaches are more aggressive than others. That call to me, the fantasy people loved it, right? Anybody's going to touch the ball, gain yards, maybe put more points on the board. They're happy that they kept it and did that. So very interesting deal there, but I'm with you on that one. Maybe he just says, what the heck, we can't lose. Let's go ahead and keep trying to win or add to our lead.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles get a score closer. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Edwards, off play action. Flush to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now they try the right side here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Winston finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now they try the right side here. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the...
He's got a man complete. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Reeves. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. Oh, they'll run the option right. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
To throw, Winston. And Diggs has it. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
with
right.
the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, Winston again. Pass incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
On third down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
He hurdles him.
Should get a gold medal for that one.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They are on to the fourth quarter in Jacksonville. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. He'll rifle this one, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him a gain of 37.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Edwards now throwing on first down, escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the fifth tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 27. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though.
Ready? Black 22's hot.
Back to it after the pick six. Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Play fake. Winston. And his throw is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification. That's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But just 3 rushing touchdowns and, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Hey, ready. Blue 80. Four down. Set. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
1st down, Winston. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Jameis now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That one goes for 36 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
Eight. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And they'll run it here. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 49. And he's going to go down. His time has now run out on this game. A big offensive explosion.